Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Crypto Market Watch. We're starting the day with a sea of red across the board as a surging US dollar continues to put pressure on the global crypto market.
That's right. The dollar has hit a two-year high, causing Bitcoin to slip below $91,000. The rest of the market is following suit, with Ethereum down 2.67% and XRP losing 1.73% in the past 24 hours.
It's worth noting that the dollar's surge is likely tied to the recent interest rate hikes and the ongoing economic uncertainty. As we discussed earlier this week, the crypto market is particularly sensitive to macroeconomic trends, and we're seeing that play out today.
Absolutely, and it's not just the majors that are feeling the heat. We're seeing significant losses across the board, with SOL down 11.19%, Doge losing 2.67%, and SHIB taking a 5.46% hit.
On the other hand, we do have a few outliers. Trump is up a staggering 108.33%, and Link is showing a respectable 4.97% gain. It'll be interesting to explore what's driving these gains in an otherwise bearish market.
That's right, and speaking of bearish markets, the AI crypto sector is facing a deep sell-off. We've seen significant losses in some of the major AI implication tokens, which could have broader implications for the market as a whole.
We'll be diving deeper into the AI crypto sector later in the episode, but for now, let's focus on the broader market trends. It's clear that the dollar's surge is having a ripple effect across the crypto market, and we'll need to keep a close eye on how this plays out in the coming days.
Absolutely, and as we explore these themes throughout the episode, we'll also be keeping an eye on some of the other major stories that are shaping the market. From regulatory developments to emerging trends, we'll be covering it all.
So let's take a closer look at some of the other major movers and shakers in the market. We've got a lot to cover, and we're just getting started.
So we were just discussing the recent market shifts in the crypto world, and Ripple's XRP has certainly been making headlines. Building on what we discussed earlier about the current bull run, XRP came incredibly close to breaking its all-time high last week.
That's right, and the excitement around Ripple and XRP has been growing since the change in administration. It seems investors are optimistic about a more favorable environment for crypto assets.
Exactly, and it's not just the price that's causing a stir. Ripple's stash of XRP has reached a staggering sum. I think it's worth breaking down what's been driving this surge and what it means for the company.
Absolutely. One factor at play is the recent optimism surrounding a potential XRP ETF. We've seen a wave of new ETF applications in recent months, and it seems XRP is getting in on the action.
An XRP ETF would certainly be a big deal. It would provide a new way for investors to get exposure to the asset, which could drive up demand and, in turn, the price.
That's right, and it's worth noting that this is all happening against the backdrop of the ongoing SEC versus Ripple case. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the lawsuit, XRP has continued to perform well.
Speaking of the SEC, it's interesting to consider how a potential XRP ETF might impact the case. Could it be seen as a vote of confidence in the asset's legitimacy?
It's possible. The SEC has been clear that it views XRP as a security, but the market seems to be disagreeing. If an XRP ETF is approved, it could be seen as a tacit endorsement of the asset's status as a commodity.
That would certainly be a significant development, and it's not just the price or the ETF that's driving interest in XRP. The company has been making waves in other areas, such as its growing presence in the art and fashion world.
Ah, yes. I saw that Decrypt recently launched an art, fashion, and entertainment hub called Scene. It's clear that Ripple is looking to expand its reach beyond just the crypto world.
Exactly, and it's this kind of innovation that's helping to drive interest in XRP. As the crypto market continues to evolve, it will be interesting to see how Ripple and XRP fit into the larger landscape.
Well, we'll certainly be keeping a close eye on developments. For now, it's clear that XRP is one to watch.
I think it's interesting how our previous discussion on the rise of memecoins is playing out in real time. Just yesterday, we were talking about how these tokens are becoming increasingly popular, and now it seems like even major exchanges are taking notice.
Absolutely. And it looks like the latest example is the Trump token, which has made a phenomenal debut and is already getting attention from big players like Coinbase and Binance. They're planning to list the official Trump memecoin token, which is quite surprising given the trouble it faced initially.
Yeah, I recall reading that the MAGA token, which is a fan token for Trump supporters, had a hard time getting listed on major exchanges. Some even called it too polarizing or too politicized. But it seems like the Trump token has managed to overcome those hurdles.
That's right. And it's worth noting that this token is not just any ordinary memecoin. As the official token of the 47th United States president, it's likely to attract a lot of attention and interest from both supporters and detractors. The fact that major exchanges are willing to list it, despite the controversy, is a testament to the growing mainstream acceptance of cryptocurrencies.
Building on what we discussed earlier about the power of community in driving memecoin adoption, it's clear that the Trump token has a strong backing from its supporters. But what do you think this means for the broader crypto market? Are we going to see more politicized or polarizing tokens emerge?
Speaking of which, I think this development highlights the importance of decentralization and the need for exchanges to remain neutral. By listing the Trump token, Coinbase and Binance are demonstrating their commitment to providing a platform for all types of assets, regardless of their political affiliation.
That's a great point, and it's also worth considering the potential implications for the regulatory environment. If exchanges are willing to list tokens that are closely tied to political figures or movements, it could raise questions about the role of politics in shaping crypto regulations.
Exactly. And that's something we'll be keeping a close eye on in the coming weeks. But for now, it's clear that the Trump token is making waves in the crypto space, and its listing on major exchanges is likely to drive even more interest and adoption.
Well, we'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, let's move on to our next story, which explores the growing trend of decentralized finance, DeFi, platforms.
Earlier in our show, we touched upon Solana's incredible surge to an all-time high of $275. I think it's worth revisiting that story, especially in light of the official Trump memecoin's unprecedented 900% growth over the past 24 hours.
Absolutely. And I think what's really fascinating here is how Trump's memecoin has single-handedly reignited speculative interest in the Solana ecosystem. I mean, who would have predicted that a memecoin of all things would be the catalyst for Solana's remarkable price action?
Right? It just goes to show how unpredictable the crypto market can be. And I think it's also worth noting that the decision to issue the memecoin on Solana has had a direct impact on the demand and sentiment for Sol tokens.
That's a great point. I mean, we've seen time and time again how a single event or announcement can have a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem. And in this case, the choice of Solana as the issuance network has clearly bumped up demand and sentiment for Sol tokens.
Now, I know some of our listeners might be thinking, is this sustainable? Is this just a flash in the pan, or is there something more substantial at play here? And I think that's a valid concern. I mean, we've seen plenty of examples in the past where a coin or token experiences a massive surge only to come crashing back down to earth.
That's true, but at the same time, I think it's also worth considering the broader context here. I mean, we're not just talking about a random memecoin. We're talking about a coin that's been endorsed by a former U.S. president. That's a pretty significant development, and I think it's likely to have a lasting impact on the Solana ecosystem.
Agreed, and I think that's why it's so important to keep a close eye on this story as it continues to unfold. I mean, we're already seeing some pretty significant price action, and I think it's likely that we'll see even more volatility in the coming days and weeks.
Absolutely. So what are the key takeaways from today's show? Well, first and foremost, Solana's surge to an all-time high of $275 is a major development that's worth keeping an eye on. And secondly, the official Trump memo coin's incredible growth is a testament to the power of speculative interest in the crypto market.
That's right. And finally, I think it's worth noting that the crypto market is always full of surprises. I mean, who would have predicted that a memecoin would be the catalyst for Solana's price action? It just goes to show how unpredictable and exciting this market can be.
Well, that's all for today's show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you all on the next episode.
And before we go, a quick reminder to follow us on social media for all the latest updates and analysis. Until next time, stay crypto.